secure benefit, that's more like a E or an employee, and
Yes,
that's how they get
employee, because
off.
they
Like
speak from emotion. So they're
that's what turns them on.
secure and benefit. Secure is an emotional response
Mm-hmm.
to fear, of fear.
Right.
So
Okay. Yeah. Me admit. So yeah.
and like the S's are the type they like to do their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
They are considered what's the do-it-yourselfers.
Mm-hmm.
So E's respond to fear by seeking security, and S's respond to fear by taking control and doing it themselves.
All right, that's me all day. But go ahead, like I be hating this book sometimes, bro. He be reading the nigga. He will read the hell out of you, like like no other.
No. Well, I resent the other two. Respondsman, that was Paul Cunningham
So
on
yeah.
Friday. So I
I
called
was
him and
also
said,
looking
what
at
about y'all tomorrow? Is that okay?
like it was
So the
talking
thing
about
is,
well, I understand about leadership, with it being the ability to bring out the best in people, but it was also talking about the essence of leadership and the technical skills of business, and just needing to the need to know those technical skills in
what's
order to
the
be
theory?
successful.
Something opposite.
Yeah.
With the which is the reading the financial statements, the
Nobody's got any.
accounting, sales, marketing, management, production, and negotiation, like learning these skills and really um, learning how to operate with using these skills.
Right. Right. Which is more tied into education more than it is to like a saving grace of some sort.
Right.
So that's kind of where like the part that really got me too, just referencing what you said in the I quadrant, the reason why most people don't really get into the I quadrant is because they're so busy doing shit. Like they so busy doing everything except learning how to invest, understanding it, taking it from the risk to having fun with it.
Right.
So like this is good because it's allowing me to learn, and then I'm really taking the time to learn things just from reading this book from time to time.
And most eyes, people who are really in an I quadrant don't work a job.
Right.
No.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
Yeah, most of them
That's
don't work
deep.
a job. Their money works for them, is what I noticed. So I was like, damn,
That's
like
deep.
they generate it says that the rich generate most of their income from investments or the I quadrant, and less than 30% from wages. Less
Right.
than 30% comes from wages.
See,
Because
that's
to them,
powerful.
wealth is measured in time, not money.
Can you
Yeah.
explain that? Because you just said that, and I don't even know what the hell what you just said.
When I
I'm
said,
gonna be.
you talking about which part, like the generating the
Wealth is
income?
measured in time. I don't understand that at all. That shit just blew
Okay,
my
so when he
mind.
said that wealth is measured in time and not money, he was talking about when him and Kim became rich.
Mm-hmm.
They had already become millionaires, but it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
until they had actually started receiving more money from the things that they had invested in. That way, they were making more money from their passive income versus um, versus their business. So when their passive income was bringing in more than what their home life, what they had to pay out, then they
Mm-hmm.
felt like they had actually reached what they considered to be wealthy because they no longer
Mm.
had to do anything.
Mm. Thank you. Thank you. You cleared it up. Cause that ties into what he was talking about, the multi-level marketing and the network marketing. That's like hella cringe. Like
Right.
I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? But then he was talking about the story about the billionaire who like that's what he was doing. Like he already had $1 billion and he was like doing like multi-level marketing for his friends, and he was asking them like, why are you even doing that? He was like, because people want to get $1 billion, but you can't just walk into $1 billion. You need to learn how to step this shit up, and if you can't create a network market type situation, then what are you talking about? like,
Right,
like
exactly.
what are you talking about? How are you going to maintain and balance this income that you imagine having? Because once you have $1 million and you spend $1, you got no longer have 1 million. So
Millions,
you
right.
just about to take yourself out the game. So man, go ahead. But I got more shit, but I think like this good back and forth. And if anybody else want to add, feel free. Um, it was background, Racine, but we got Honcho and Shireen coming, so that'll be
Did I
some
get it off? Was I able to get it off?
Get what off?
No, I'm saying he said it was background.
Oh, I don't
Oh
hear it.
yeah, you did get it off. You got it off like a mug. I ain't even. You came through crystal clear, bro. It was like, yeah, you got it out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I did. I switched to my Bluetooth, and then all of a sudden, shit just started echoing. Like
Yeah, shit got
yeah.
real weird for a second, but you like crystal right now.
Well, I thought it was real interesting that the entire thing about saving money was a waste. Like
Yes.
I thought it was dope the way he broke that down. That safe
Man,
money is no
that shit was just
safe
so
money.
empowering.
Yeah, like safe money is no money. So like I thought I
Fuck
was
it.
wrong when I just spent. You know what I'm saying? Like because I thought about it on some real shit. I thought about it on the street pharmacy level. I was like, how many times I've invested in something that flipped and came back positive, but I stopped doing it because I wanted to save more money. You know what I'm saying?
Man, what does that even mean? After reading this book, I'm like, yo, what does that even fucking mean? Like
It
that
means
shit,
that if it's sitting on the side collecting dust, it's not
bro,
benefiting you.
bro.
Exactly. It's not. And
It's
just like you
depreciating
saying,
in
like about
value.
the retirement account,
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it's just an account. It's an account for you to
yeah,
put your money, and that's it. It's not growing at all.
No.
yeah. And I thought it was crazy, just to be 100,
Uh-huh.
for you to be able to have a 401k, retire, the possibility of using all that time and that energy to put your kids or whatever through school, and then the idea that you actually might outlive your benefits. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like your benefits would be cut off. You'd be 80 years old and going back to poverty. Like, that's crazy.
That is ridiculous, bro. That shit, if the value of the dollar tanks and you got all your money in a savings account, that shit is hell. Like that shit is nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because he was saying like if you saving, you not learning.
Mm-hmm.
If you risking or investing, then you're actually learning. So that's going to be the make or break. So with all of this shit happening, I'm just so like I feel very fortunate just kind of thanking Honcho and Shireen and everybody on the live in the chat for just getting me in this vibration just to kind of learn this shit as opposed to just be like, oh, just give me money or things of that nature. But shit, money ain't gonna save you. You know what I'm saying? Like it just won't, because money is debt. You know, it's about these markets. It's about learning how to operate within these markets and fluctuations, and how to really thrive in an economic collapse. And the people that's able to learn however you learn at whatever rate you learn, but you taking the initiative to learn financial literacy. That's what we gonna be here for, twice a week, once a month. Whenever we find the time to do this, we'll have these conversations because my nigga, it is necessary. But
Oh,
yeah.
yes, it is. It is very necessary. Like, I'm up to like chapter 10 right now, and I'm just sitting back, like I'm reading it on the screen while I'm listening to the audio book, and it shit just blowing my mind. Like,
Yo, it's crazy.
yo, like I understand the barter system now. Like I
Mhm.
understand the barter system is much more beneficial than you taking half your paycheck and putting it in the bank. Like,
Man,
like
Definitely.
it makes more sense for you to make your money work along the way as opposed to you just holding it. Because
yes,
like if they do this one world currency right now,
right.
if they do this one world currency right now, this whole shit is just gonna turn everybody upside down. You know
Right.
what I'm
When
saying?
they do
Like,
this one world currency right now,
Right.
oh
When.
yeah, I know. You're right. You're right,
while
Hacho.
they're doing this one world currency right
No sign up necessary, my nigga. If you go to irs.gov/coronavirus and you worried about your stimulus check and trying to sign up for it, Don't worry, they got you.
Already.
No worries. No sign up necessary. We'll
Since 2017.
that should have been in your
They been-
account. And you like, damn,
Yeah.
what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? That shit'll be in your account, meaning that as God giveth,
They can
God can
cash
take it
up your
away.
money now.
They can cash
They
app you some
can,
shit.
they can cash your money. Straight up.
You see that meme? That
And
meme ain't like
already trained us. They trained to receive money.
did the
What
sound
happened?
go out? Yeah, something happened.
Yeah, something faded on Honcho.
Honcho, he be breaking the frequencies down and shit when he be talking. This shit happen all the time. Sure, I know what I'm talking about. This ain't nothing new.
They don't want him to get through.
Yeah, that always
He over
happens.
there doing extraplanetary alignment.
Yeah, he be doing too much. That's what Sheree always say. Like, you doing too much. You saying too much. That shit be like, brr, brr, brr. Oh, that shit funny as hell.
It's crazy because they got lines outside of certain stores if you ain't got no plastic. You know what I'm
Say
saying?
what?
Like,
Say what?
yeah,
Say more to that. Speak more to that, because I ain't hip to this.
they have instances where they have a limited amount of cash on hand. So they're not letting everybody come in the store and pay with cash.
Hold up. Wait. So that's actually happening. But do you know what's happening in Italy? You know what's happening in Italy at this particular point? Because they 2 weeks ahead of us, right? What's happening now is that they rioting. They rioting right now. Like, they hungry. They riot in the grocery stores. Like, they kicking down the grocery stores because, say for instance, like this, they going to push this one world currency because of the necessity of people needing money to buy food. And so, see, here you go again. Bro, hey, Chancho, 1 second, Hacho. Let me tell you something. You got to keep the frequency at like 7 or 8, bro. When you go to 9 or 10, bro, you going hack you going to glitch the matrix out, bro. He ain't even hear me.
That boy on Pluto right now.
You say what? You say what, Rob?
I said he on Pluto right now.
On everything, bro. On everything.
So I wonder how long it takes for it to get to the United States and these people start getting to the point where they're not willing to take no more.
This is what I'm trying to say. The quicker that they can imply this monetary system, the quicker people can have their funds. That's why no sign up is necessary. Like anything else, you would have to file. Like, you know what I'm saying? File, then give them your routing number. You'll get your taxes that way. That process would actually break down whatever infrastructure is left because ain't nobody at work. So the idea is to have a blockchain or a currency that exists where people can kind of just draft the money without no sign up necessary. Just, maybe log in and get like your bit code, what they call like the whatever code or scan code. That's much more easier than filling out forms and things of that nature. So I think they're going to try to do this sooner than later. And the technology allows for it to be quicker as opposed to them actually filing and then sending out checks to 347 million people, supposedly, quote unquote. Like, that don't even make sense. So all of this shit is going quantum 5D real soon. And so, some people can take the energy and some people can't. That's why it's a necessity that they have 5G networks throughout the country, because that's how the information, like, you got to understand how many transactions is going to take place once this influx of cash comes, and they can't support it on 4G systems.
The way in which money's moving on the planet right now is used to buy everything. but is no longer backed by an actual metal that has a current.
which he talks
So
about in the book.
dollar is backed by people that slave for it. This is the whole theory on the slavery thing.
And I
Because
ain't gonna
nobody
interrupt you no more, Honcho, but keep it at this level, bro. This level
got you,
right
my
here.
bad. I ain't going no further. I promise you. I promise you I ain't going no further. But us moving from the dollar to a digital currency, the digital currency, the way in which it makes money is through transactions. The company that used to do this was called Swift, and they could not get money across to other countries fast enough. It was like a whole business day type situation. And most countries and most banks had to hold money in certain places all over the world in order to trade in those particular currencies. But now, instead of everybody using the dollar to trade in their currency, they will use a cryptocurrency called XRP. And that shit is based off every transaction that is done. That's every transaction for me, you, and every single entity and every single thing that happens. All transactions will be under the XRP ledger.
Okay.
That's how they get it. That's how this becomes a one world, one currency, one. Everything is under the one, with every single transaction now being digital. All assets being held digitally. All your bank, all that's gonna be digital.
But then cross-reference it with Western Union, right? Speak to that Western Union situation.
Okay, so it's MoneyGram. The way MoneyGram work. If anybody has ever been to Walmart, you send the money to Walmart. Well, that's on MoneyGram. Money you used to go to Walmart and actually send MoneyGram.
Mm-hmm.
Well, MoneyGram is how the other nationalities send money back to their countries.
Facts.
And it is how money is transferred internationally from person to person. That company, Ripple and XRP. Ripple, XRP are two. Ripple is the company. XRP is the currency.
Okay.
So anytime I mention the Ripple or XRP, I am talking about the same thing. XRP and MoneyGram have gotten together and have begun to open up trading in this particular cryptocurrency all over the world and have been doing it for the last 2.5 years. Last year, everything went on like a silence, so us in America could not get access to this because we are a part of the big change. We are like the final nut and bolt to make this new house. They need us to spend this dollar, this new crypto dollar, in order for the world to create an inflation. And then that's when you'll see the crazy things happen with money. However, right now, no one's working. All of the systems are down. Governments are down. Everything is down. This was planned. I was telling Kyrie this last year. Man, they're going to shut the government down for real next year. Shut down. But this is to bring in a new world currency and this or a new way of trading. And this happens every 84 years, 84 to 90 years. It's a Uranus cycle. I know I went left, but I really wanted you guys to understand the magnitude of we already been under a one world government.
No, just do 1933. Do 1933 and then 2020.
So, question, Honcho. How does this apply to the credit system?
87 years, bro.
How does this apply to the credit system?
How does this apply to the credit system? Credit is given. The credit systems all systems that run in this particular country. Credit, land, real estate, equity. All of these things is what people can own or people can have. Credit is given based off the debt that you can accumulate. So debt is not a bad thing in this system. Over these last 84 years, from 1934 to now, they needed debt. Debt was a good thing. So credit was a good thing. Everybody needing credit, needed to have credit. All of these things were good things, but they were only to drive up more debt. This whole system is built to build more debt, not to decrease it. So when it comes to credit, those things will be offered to you again as well, but they won't be offered to you the way that they used to be offered. You're gonna have to go into the new system in order to receive credit from fintech companies.
Mhm.
If you get some time, write this
But they
down.
already implemented it though with the
Yes,
Bancorp
this is
thing.
here. It's already
It's
here.
already here, like the Chime bank account and shit like that. Like
COVID,
all of that.
the Chris Brown is to keep you focused on the dancing. So while
Hmm.
we changing the money market, you don't know what the fuck we doing.
Hmm.
Because ain't nobody really dying from this shit. They just really took all of the marketing on the internet and flooded the market with Google ads and YouTube ads and fucking commercials everywhere, sent everybody home and shut down the private sector so that they can issue a new currency.
Right.
And we think that it's a virus, but it's a distraction.
Right. And another thing about credit, I just want to add, that's a game. Like it shouldn't be a point where you view it as something that's like free. If you play it, see your credit limit 10 G's, take all of that and then give them back 12 or whatever the case may be, get another 20G credit limit. Like play the credit game if you want to play the credit game. That's always going to be the game. You know,
Credit is to acquire assets.
yeah, this credit is for business. You know, credit is I need to build this building, but I don't have enough capital. So give me this money to build this building, because when I build this building, I'm gonna make so much money because of this building that I'll give you that shit back plus interest. That's credit. You know, that's just a system, you know, that we
Yeah,
can utilize
yeah.
for our benefit.
So what was the name of, what did you just say? Something tech. I didn't hear.
Fintech.
Fintech. Also, write this down. Executive Order 13377. 13377. 2000, February 9th, 2017. Take an opportunity to look at that so you can get integrated with the
1377?
1377. 133
13377.
Because they did do a whole virus to we gonna give you some money type of shit. That's what they did. Like, let's not be confused about this shit. They took a whole virus and flipped it to, all right, we gonna give you some money.
The money.
So
Right.
let's not be confused about it. Not let's give you medical assistance, not
Right.
let's, you know, build more hospitals to combat or pop up, you know. I would have liked pop-up hospitals or some shit because it's a quote-unquote virus. Like, let's deal with the actual virus. But no, we going to stop you from going to work and we going to give you money. So, like, those two things are connected. So when we reference financial literacy, we can't go into this shit like confused about this shit the same way we go into anything with some form of knowledge about this shit. Like, because we really can fall into the game of the government politics with them offering $1,200. Like, that shit is crazy. So, you know, thanks to Honcho, thanks to Lakeisha, thanks to Ra for dropping these nuggets, man. What else do we got? I know we all got notes, so, you know, keep sharing. Oh, they got kicked out the group somehow.
Well, I think this whole idea of scared money don't make money. It seems like I heard that before.
Yeah, they say it in it was in every single rap CD since 1996 to about 2004. They mentioned it at least once in one form or another.
I think it's awesome when you hear a white man say it. You know what I'm saying?
Like, yeah, it hit different.
Like when he say it, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, wow. You dig
it hit
like,
different.
especially when you want to put it in an intellectual way. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to use all these big words just to say, keeping your money in the bank ain't about nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Word.
basically a saver's a last. Like, and that's all your parents teach you growing up. Save your money. Don't
That's all
waste
they
your
say.
money.
That's all they say. That's all they say. Oh shit. I ain't.
Nah, it's
No,
cool.
it's
It's
cool.
cool.
It's cool.
That's all I
That's all I
wanted to say.
wanted to say.
Nah, I didn't even mean the shit just clicked off on some crazy. But yeah. They told us our whole lives to save money, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm reading this and I'm just like, yo, I literally been feeling like I don't be saving. So I built up a savings account and I'm reading this shit like, yo, what the fuck? Like, I'm really like my mind is blown. However, he said another thing that really blew my mind. And I want to get y'all thoughts on this. Not having money is not an excuse to raising capital or being successful. He said,
Yeah.
if you want to be a successful business, you got to learn how to work with people and have employees. You can't be a solo entrepreneur and raise capital because all you are is yourself. However, when you create a business and you employ people, you don't need money for that. You just need a particular idea and you need people that's going to work with you, and that's why he talked about the network marketing and things of that nature. But it don't take money; it take a network. So, what do y'all feel about that? Because I ain't gonna say that's one of the hard things for me, but like that's why I started these groups. That's why I got the Slack because networking is hell to me,
For
anyways.
me.
And I just I just want to try. You feel what I'm saying? I just want to put my effort in to just be like, I'm putting my hand out there to be like, yo, I want to network. I want to build with people. I want to grow with people, support people, break bread because I want to be in the B sector. I want to be in the B and the I. And I feel like the I, you need people. The B, you need people. But what is y'all? Is y'all good networkers? Is networking hell? Like, give me some feedback on that.
I'm definitely, honestly, a network as well because I'm an introvert naturally. So I'm usually to myself. I'm not the kind of person who usually breaks the ice when it comes to talking to people. But once I get going, I'm in it. But for the most part, yeah, to initially start off, and I got into network marketing just for the sake of trying to overcome the hurdle of networking with people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and that's really a important key for me to just at least try and learn. And this book and this understand that aspect of it. So, and another part, I want to get your feedback on about not having money, because that's another thing that we've been taught. You got to have money to make money. You know what I'm saying? And here he's saying to be as rich as you possibly can. Not having money is not an excuse. You know, capitalists never have money because they always investing. They always learning how to raise money. So what's some fundraising shit that y'all do, whether it's trading, investing, reading this book? Like, have y'all developed any new interesting ways to raise money? Like, where are we at with that?
I didn't quite get to that part on the read.
Oh, okay, yeah, that was my last and that was the last thing that I wrote down, and I had to kind of cut it off. Like, man, that's too much. Like, that's too much. That's too
Yeah,
much.
my little
But
brain wasn't got to it.
yeah, but that part, I guess, as you read this book, it get crazier and crazier and a little bit deeper and deeper. And yeah, uh, what somebody reflect on their notes though. You know, Prime, you at unmuted. You got something to say? You ain't been saying nothing. I see you
Um,
at work.
well, yeah, because bottom line, first and foremost, I still need to read the book.
Okay.
But I've been following the videos in the chat,
Mm-hmm.
um, from the last sessions. But when you talk about networking, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
to me, the networking and the building money from no money thing has always been an issue for me.
100.
But I feel like it's because you can that's a nice fluffy thing to say, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to get somebody to spend money on a venture that you thinking of, you got to have like a good idea. You got to have a reputation. I mean, there's some background things that need to happen, right?
Or you can
Like,
have a group of people that's all supported and all seeing that same way. A business can
agree,
get that. A
agree.
person is hard because we think of
Yeah,
sometimes we want that support individually
yeah,
where it's easier to achieve, like the idea that me and you was talking about, like our schedules didn't sync up yesterday, but I'm gonna be honest with you, like I've
right,
been
right,
thinking about it, like that's been like I want to make that my new life, you know, like just the
right,
whole
right.
idea is just like opening me up to a whole wave. But the thing that is empowering is that it's me, you,
Yeah,
Shireen, Honcho. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like it ain't just me. I feel like, and I was telling my wife, like no matter what I can do alone, it's not even going to compare to what I can do with people. You know, so I just like
Oh, heck yeah.
whatever I need to do to cross that bridge, even if I don't cross that bridge. But I guess the challenge of my life is to be somewhat of
Let
a
me,
team, you know. So
let
that's
me
the
put
effort that I'm
y'all
putting
on
in.
hold 1 second.
Go ahead.
I
I wanted to add,
gotta grab this. That's somebody else supposed to.
Okay.
it
Honcho,
says
seven, seven,
Can
seven,
it
seven,
has arrows pointing. You hear
seven.
me?
It'd
Oh
be
yeah,
going in and out.
we're in a bad space.
Oh, okay.
Can you
Okay.
hear me?
It's like it's kind
yeah.
of it's kind of wavy.
Yeah, we okay. You not hearing nothing.
You have one unheard message. Unheard message.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I was saying on one of those cash flow quadrant picks,
Mm-hmm.
there's arrows pointing from employee to business and from self-employed to investor.
Mm-hmm.
The mindset that I hear a lot of you guys talking from about even jumping into the being in that business side of things is coming from the self-employed understanding of what business is.
Whereas what am I?
Funding is given when when you understand from the business owner side of things how he's operating his employees. So if everybody on this call has worked a job before, we all filled out policies and procedures. Did you keep them? Because that is the basis, that is the construct of how you receive funding. Those policies and procedures. Setting up a system that can be utilized in any industry based off of the fact that you have a business, not based off of the fact that you have an idea. Because ideas come every day and businesses take advantage of them all the time. We all are on cell phones and tablets, so on. But what businesses are doing that's different from the people that innovate, the self-employed idea makers, is they have a system that pays for people to work at. So quite naturally, that business owner is going to affect more people by assisting the self-employed genius to come up with the idea, going to the community where it's necessary to manufacture that idea, hiring those employees to work that idea, going to the government or other institutions that are set up in order to receive funding with that plan already in state, showing that you have employees or a union type setup. I also have a contract with someone that's going to help me do this. I need funding so that I can pay these people to do that. And that's how you get funding. But it has to be a real live system in place in order for you to receive any money. And and now I'm telling you guys this from my own personal experience. I have received rounds of funding 3 times in my life. That is how you do it. When you present numbers to the institutions that receive money from governments, they grant you money based off of your system. Your system is intact and you meet the qualifications, your documentation is in order, you receive the money. But if you're not informed on the type of documentation that is required to walk in the building to receive the funding, they got you at the door. They got you at the idea. And that's really a lot of what's going on. Just the idea of business is not explained to you from the business owner's perspective. It's explained to you from the executives, which are employees of a company.
Makes sense.
A big business has a board, and it's more than one person making decisions. And it's a board of specialized people from different areas, different walks of life that have proven themselves within their own selves, have some sort of confidence, some sort of experience in their field, and those people sit down together and they make policy, and they give the CEO orders to go and handle the day-to-day operations of their ideas. So if all of us decided today we're gonna start a company today on the book club, and everybody that's on the call gonna be on the board, gonna be on the board. Now what Hood was talking about all of us coming together, that's how you do it. You create a board of directors and you start a company, and nobody owns the company outright, and you go and receive funding. Because now you're in that field, but you're not in that field with the expectation that you're going to go and get a DBA and do it all yourself.
And that shit is crazy because what's gonna happen is you're gonna get fucking investigated and interrogated by the banks, the lawyers, the accountants. They gonna abuse you. They gonna treat you like shit. They gonna, they gonna fuck you over, right? Because you, from the door, the concept is scrambled in your mind. It's like going to a goddamn prom in jeans and a t-shirt. It's like, no, you not getting in here. You like, but why? I just want to dance. Like, nigga, this is a fucking prom, dog, and you fucking in jeans and a t-shirt, right? So you just got to kind of understand how to actually dress yourself up to actually do business, because I tell my friends all the time, like, doing business is cool. Like, you can't do it by yourself. Like, you just can't do it by yourself. So the idea is to create networks and have friends and build trust and establish trust, break bread, show documentation, share data, share customers, do all of these particular things, because if you thinking about it as an individual, you done already fucked yourself over. Because the thing, and I just want to summarize, like, when we come as a business, it ain't no interrogations. I don't exist, you don't exist, she don't exist, we don't exist, the business don't exist. Like, the owner of Sears is disconnected from that shit. You know, Sears is an entity, but someone owns it, or a group of people own it, rather. So just understanding that, and those people, they can only pull from that business. They can't personally be fucked with, because
Those
that's just
people control
business.
it. They are not affected by it
Ashe,
negatively. They are in control.
ashe.
Okay, so I have a question in regards to um, moving over to the B and I side when it comes to just having your standing. So at standing, I know you guys have probably heard in regards to like people who talk about like secure party creditors and all those different things. Like, is that something that is even necessary when operating moving forward?
It is, but it doesn't. It all depends on how is it relevant to you and your standing.
Exactly. And are you able to produce a standing army? Do you have a government? Do you have the ability to be sovereign? do you no longer need the United States for anything? You know what I'm
How
saying? Like you,
you do that is create a board.
yeah, but that comes with
We can
the BNI. You can be sovereign within yourself, but to be a private citizen is to be in the private sector. So you got to think about security because you can't be a millionaire and a billionaire and not have security. You got to think about protection. You got to think about finances. You got to think about spiritual systems. It's so much that you have to think about that even that is a pipe dream for an individual. That's just my opinion, but go ahead.
Well, I think
Hunter, or go ahead. Anybody?
Oh, I thought
Well,
well, I think we have to let go of the old preconceived notions
when
of
we come into this. You know, because it's like everything that we're speaking on right now. A lot of things that are being incorporated into it are stuff from the past with old systems. You know, thinking that you need to save money. Thinking like the whole networking thing. Like I'm just going to give you, Kyrie, what you give to everybody else before we even start. Leave your ego at the door. I mean, you talk to people all the time, and you open people right up just from a 5-minute conversation. So I think having a conversation with people that you don't normally have a conversation with can go a very long way.
I say.
You could pick somebody's brain without even letting them know you picking their brain.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And especially if you're dealing with somebody on the business side of it, I mean, they don't even think about the word security. They believe that they believe the word security is like the worst thing ever. Like that goes with safety. Like they don't even believe in that. Just based on the book. You dig what I'm saying, Kai?
Right. 100.
Like so when you talk about, just to tie it in a little bit, when you talk about the whole networking concept with creating a board and creating a business with like-minded people, I think the simple aspect of it is just to get everybody in the same room and lay all their cards on the table. What is your main objective?
Indeed. And you know, with these platforms, you can actually be in the same room, and with digital forms and things of that nature, we can share digital forms and sign digital forms and come to agreements and have lawyers and accountants and do all of these particular things. But you know, first and foremost, it starts with financial literacy to a point where we can have a full conversation and you can understand what I'm even talking about. Because understanding all of this information, if we don't understand the BNI sector and what it takes to be there, then one would kind of feel threatened or feel like their security or their ego is challenged when shit, it don't matter. We can all set up 5 simultaneous boards for ourselves that we can all be members of. So personally have our own personal things and then have collective things that we get residual income from people that we don't even know. So we could all survive and live if we change our thought form in the way that we looked at life, and this thing existed. You know, this isn't like some shit that we making up. So that's why within the book club, we gonna look at this shit for a while. You know what I'm saying? We gonna talk about this shit for a while because, you know, whether it grows or not, we got 5 motherfuckers on this goddamn 6 counting Shireen. So that's 6 people that you know, we could create a conglomeration and really take over. But in the realms of literacy and getting to know each other, if this is something that we want, we should be able to come and meet in a timely fashion without it being an issue because we all can see the other side of it. So within that, you know, I appreciate everybody at least showing up for the second time because creating new habits is hard. So thank you guys.
Well, yeah, that's part of what he said, though. He was like, you know, in order to get to the other side, you know, your core, you know what I mean, has to change because it's a lifestyle change.
I was gonna read that quote. I'm glad you mentioned that. That was when you first said your first question. I was gonna read that particular sentence in the book. I brought it up. I wanted to read it for y'all. I hadn't heard it, but it says anyone can change, but changing quadrants isn't like changing jobs or changing professions.
Changing quadrants is often a change at the core of who you are, how you think, and how you look at the world.
Yeah.
So,
and that's at the top of my page. Like that's the first thing I wrote down.
It really is deeper than like letting go of an old reality is hard to do when you don't have a new one to hold on to.
Right.
But it's easy now though, because we are in that particular crossroads.
Oh yeah, right, exactly. Perfect timing. This is why we all on here together now, having this, this is perfect synchronicities for you to hear that. But take advantage, learn, because really this thing is really sincerely all about learning and gaining as much information as you can so that you can govern yourself wholeheartedly in all situations, in law, in finance, at home. It's sincerely about governing you. So if your reality is on an older reality that's no longer valid today, you got to govern you and let it go, and be diligent enough to be open to practicing and being open to new information that you can implement into your life, even if it don't sound like nothing you've ever heard before.
Right. And y'all know me, I like to speak shit into existence. My goal and my speak it into existence goal is that we all can find an idea that we could all get behind, form a board, and all put our energy, at least whatever energy that we feel is designated for this idea, and bring it to life. And if this takes a year, if this takes 2 years to manifest, I'm just in that realm of getting behind the idea. Between the 5 of us, 6 of us, whoever watches this video, there will be a plethora of ideas. So, as a self employed person, you coming up with an idea, understand that your idea is limited. Your idea needs a business behind it so it can flourish everything that it needs to flourish. So it can flourish in the way that it needs to flourish. So I'm included. Even me and Prime, we got a wonderful idea, but we just kind of in the birthing stages of it. But, in between us all, we can get real crazy about our ideas. But when you think about security, protection, copyright, trademarking, so forth and so on, all of that shit get expensive. But when you talk about business and support and boards and structures and policies and guidelines, the funding is available. All you got to do is write the forms. I took place on the board, you know what I'm saying? And I was a 501c3 director. When it comes to money, it's already there. You just need to fill out the forms and the paperwork. I own a business. It ain't nothing about, like what Hancho said. When you have employees, it's all about the policies. It's all about the guidelines. It's all about the bank accounts for the wire transfers. It's all about the ADP, and all of these systems are already set up. So when it comes to any ideas and ways to, formalize and formulate, we can all grow together. And if we ain't trying to grow together, then I don't know what the hell you're doing on this call or even watching this live video, post live. At this point, I hope you've gathered, right? That to get to the next level is going to take a network. Throughout this conversation, we've been hitting, pointing, directing, nudging our elbows towards, working together. So where are we at, family?
Yes, that connects and that makes a whole lot of sense. I mean, I look at it from the concept of just your point of view, like Hancho was saying. Like, think about it from the bold look. The man at the top in the presidential suite. He's got a different view from the man down on the field. You know what I'm saying? So he's looking at it as a collective thing, sort of on a holistic level. And the guy on the field, he's only seen it in fragments. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think a lot of us are coming from that fragment stage, and we're still holding on to our, or at least for me, you know what I'm saying? I'm holding on to some of my old crap that I know I need to get rid of. It's just comfort, so to speak. But that shit don't mean nothing. That shit go out the window with safe and security. You know what I'm saying? So I just think what you're saying is right and exact. Creating the boards, And to be perfectly honest, like we are exactly doing what we are talking about doing right now. So, I mean, it's just the practicality of putting it into actualization.
Yeah, and it's just more or less of making sure, it's like making sure without a shadow of a doubt that you're ready to take that next step to understand it. And that's why the idea of literacy and then coming back Friday and discussing it is healthy, because sometimes we forget, you know, the things that we've learned. And I've been in funks and shit, bro, where I got so much knowledge and I never even use that shit.
Kick them out.
Frequency binge.
Yeah, definitely need that.
Lakeisha, how you feeling though?
I'm good. Like that's spot on. I also was looking at something that was said. It was talking about those in the I sector, how
Mm-hmm.
when you can recognize those who still want to play it safe. Like they
Mm-hmm.
speak about diversification, to diversify their portfolio so that way um, it's still safe. They feel
Mm-hmm.
more secure knowing that everything is not moving aggressively. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same token, like he was talking about, Warren Buffett was saying it's better to um, focus, like to be all in, not to diversify, but to focus on one particular thing because that's how you win.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the diversification, not into spreading it all apart and
Right.
putting it in different, compartments so that way it can do its job and you feel safe. But to focus on one particular thing because what it's going to do is going to require you to learn it.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Give it your attention so that it makes you smarter.
Right. Right. And more prepared. And I
Mm-hmm.
think this is where the education is so vital, because I guess my mindset from, let's say, 2 weeks ago to now is completely different. But it's only based upon just education. But beyond education, these builds, because these builds actually bring it home. And it actually helps me, like, makes the shit more 3D in my mind, where I'm reading it is somewhat linear and I'm taking notes. But hearing Hancho, hearing you, hearing Racine, and like everything, it just be like boom, boom, bam, bam, bam. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful,
Yeah, you guys got it right.
dopeness.
I mean, what else? What else is there to say other than starting to line up
Nah,
some
we
stuff
just gotta
actuality? Like,
Now we just got to keep reading and keep building and keep meeting at this point,
absolutely.
we're keeping the information concise and making sure we're just like talking about this financial literacy and keeping like track of our growth. And I think today, from the first week to now, is growth. So all I have to offer is that we meet again Friday, 12 p.m., and we discuss more cash flow quadrant. Let's complete this journey and then move on to other journeys. But it's just more of a book club, family. We're reading, discussing. So within that space, we're learning and growing and expanding in a time where people are allowing fear to contract them and have them in, they on the outside looking in at this point. And the change of the guard, it starts with literacy. Fuck all the dumb shit. And the literacy is getting me to the point of really connecting and really networking, and not me alone, but everybody is kind of seeing this, and it's a transformative way of thinking. So I just open the floor with anybody to give their closing thoughts and arguments and reflections of the day.
Well, I just want to say I appreciate y'all. Appreciate everybody who was on and whoever got kicked off. Unfortunately, we know the Hanzo is probably on Pluto or Saturn right now. So, uh, but just to be right and exact, and just to tie in everything that you're saying, Kyrie, I believe that it is another step forward. I believe that this is going in a positive direction, something that we can all get behind. Uh, in actuality, I just really think that we all just need to, or I just need to, be a little bit more open to different possibilities so I can, sort of incorporate them into my field.
I should. Definitely. I just want it to be normal and natural. I don't want it to be a stretch. So when it comes to corporations, it'll be like Jimmy and Tom, they're corporate partners with Microsoft. They don't know each other for shit. But they, own a whole apartment complex together.
Right.
And they make thousands and thousands of dollars with each other every month on a residual basis. And they're just members on the board. So, all of the people that watch my channel, all the people that's on the Slack, which is like 80 plus, imagine the boards and corporation and businesses that could be created if we all just got our mind right. And I know that's a large goal and a large dream, but it starts with literacy. It starts with us, and then the ability to regurgitate or imply or inflect the lessons that we've learned in the realms of business and coming together, which is so powerful and vital in these times. I don't care. I don't care. I think these actual builds and this time is like the most sacred time for me at this particular point in my life. So, I'll be setting it up for Friday for, continue reading. So if anybody wants to join, feel free. Any information you want to learn about joining, just email me, hoodmystic@gmail.com. Lakeisha, any closing words, thoughts?
I just want to say that I am grateful. Like I'm grateful in this moment that I even came across this nation that we're building.
I
This
share.
community of like-minded individuals. Um, they say your vibe attracts your tribe.
Yeah, they do say that.
And I mean, to be in a build right now with individuals who basically have that same mindset of wanting to get somewhere, who has a desire to experience freedom,
Mm.
is everything to me right now. Like this is it for me. So
Yeah,
I'll keep striving, doing what I've been doing. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I appreciate you and I'm grateful for you.
I share. Definitely.
Grateful for
Very.
you too.
Yes, it's been a very powerful build. It's beautiful when people come together and build on this level. And like I said, I want to keep these builds concise and powerful, not rambles. And I think we just do a great job of just bringing our information and our notes to the table. So we'll just be looking forward to doing this on Friday, family. So we'll be building again. But if you want to talk and meet and build and share in between time, please join us on the Slack. And that Slack is available by just emailing me, hoodmystic@gmail.com. But beyond that, family, thank you all, and we'll catch you guys on the flip side. But thanks everybody for
Appreciate
joining
you.
me. Ra, Lakeisha, Phoenix. Thank you guys, and peace out.
See.
Appreciate you.
No problem.